I had a dream in Kailash. I want to share this to you. Just very casual, non-chalant video. No, just very casual. No production quality here. But I'm in a hotel room with my good friend, Krishna Rohan Samavedam, and we're talking about this. So I had a dream in Kailash. This was a dream. It was an occult dream, and I dreamed the dream of Belial, the demon of something. I had a little connection with Belial because of my friend Tom, the occultist, from my Discord. You should join my Discord, it's very valuable. And the dream was Belial came to me, and I normally had these fears. And the first thing that happened in this dream, but it was a physical experience my body was going through, that Belial scared me so much, or this experience scared me so much, that I felt the tension and the pain and the fear in my tailbone loosening up and evaporating. Ooh, that felt so good, to release that pain and release that fear of these demonic entities and demons. Similarly, this entity, Belial, flying around me in this dream, I could sense and feel that if I were to give him an offering, he could bring me anything that I want, literally, like within reason. He probably can't bring me $1 billion, although potentially can bring some opportunity that brings that. This may sound too good to be true, but these demonic beings, you don't really want to mess with them or deal with them because they're demonic for a reason. They're confused. They're in a poor state of existence. They're very tortured and miserable. Yet, they are a force of the universe, and they can help you. No doubt, they can assist you. And they assisted Sadhguru in consecrating the Dhanalinga, or he kind of forced them to. So that regardless, besides the point. You can force these beings to do things for you because they operate in a different dimension, a different plane of existence, a different realm. And so what had happened? How do I know this? What happened in this dream? So first he scared me. And then I saw that if I were to sacrifice something, what could I sacrifice to Belial for him to do something for me? Something with extraordinary value. And what is the most extraordinary value that I sensed in this dream, which also is turns out to be true in physical real life? It is the sacrifice of, let me do some word ninja magic here, because this is very, very gentle stuff. YouTube is a very nice, kind platform, and children are watching me. Sacrifice a new, there's no way of saying this. Okay, let me just create a little metaphor here. Let me jump some loops. Let me go jump some hoops so that this is not decipherable by anyone that is not intelligent enough. Once upon a time, a child was born, and he's a fresh new life, and full of vitality, full of vibrance, no logical mind, no discrepancy between right and wrong, just fresh, connected to God, pure in his vitality, pure in his energy. When he grows up to be a human being, all that kind of stuff diminishes. Well, higher potential possibilities to grow, of course, but that intense life force energy gets diminished. Okay, so that little story side note gone, finished, wherever that went. Now, come back to my original point. If you sacrifice something to this entity, and people do this, okay, unfortunately, this has been happening for a long time in ancient cultures, that they have sacrificed these things. So what I'm saying, these things, hopefully you're connecting the dots, as well as these demonic entities, that if you somehow, this is extremely wrong, and it's wrong on multiple levels. This is just entertainment, and this is just storytelling, okay? This is not to be taken literally or true. This is not to be followed at all. This is just fantasy. I'm just sharing you the dream, okay? Literally, it's just a dream. So if you sacrifice this little thing to this little force, oh my God, you feed this being for 6 months or more. And what he can give you is immense. He can give you power, fame, status, cars, this, that, the other thing. He can move around the forces of the physical world because he's below the physical world. So it's like, there's some manifestation, physical manifestation, but if you're behind the scenes, you're manipulating the whole thing. It's kind of like that. So these things, if you get them, they don't really last, and you're going to be very unhappy with them. But hey, if you're confused, if you want a little quick shortcut, you go and deal with these beings, and they're going to destroy and ruin your life, literally. So, and that's the problem, that's the thing. And there was one more thing that I wanted to share here with you. And then I thought about this afterwards, this dream that happened, like, okay, well, if you do this sacrifice, or if you sacrifice maybe incense, that's also a sacrifice, but it's of a low potency. It'll just make him feel happy or whatever. You can also do this to powerful beings, and they also accept it with devotion, but they're not as foolish as lower entities. They're not going to just give you a bunch of stuff because physically because you just asked for it. Well, they can, but you have to grow spiritually for that, and that's the wisest way of doing it. So how do you know that if you do this little sacrifice that the being just will take the energy and run away? I was thinking about this, and these beings don't work like this. They don't have human perception. They don't have human emotions. They don't operate in this way. So it's basically for sure that this being will be in a kind of debt to you, and they can help you out in this way. So that's the whole tradition of the Goetia tradition and all these things that I've studied in the past. And even now, these beings, these people, that celebrities and various other individuals, they carry around triangles with 5 faces. Okay, that's called something. It's called a pentagram. And that is supposed to invoke a certain energy and a certain presence and a certain being also, which is very, he's almost material. I'll just say it, this being is Lucifer, the fallen angel in the Bible, and this is not imagination, this is fact. This being Lucifer maybe is the most accessible spiritual being in existence that I found. Not Shiva, not Krishna, not Buddha, not angels or other beings. It's this Lucifer, because his energies are so closely tied with the earth, and if you invoke him, it's like almost like a physical presence. He will literally come, like if you close your eyes, it's almost like a person is there, which with other deities, with other non-physical entities, you have to be much more refined for you to be able to not only access them, but perceive them and work with them and deal with them and various other things like this. So this being is like physical, and you don't want to mess around with this. You don't want to deal with this because it's a lower state of existence. If you're creating the Jnanalinga and you don't care, and some extreme circumstances happened, Sadhguru said that he kind of just grabbed them and he forced them to do these things, which it took a huge toll, but that's what he did. And that's fantastic, okay? I would do exactly the same thing. But you going and seeking their help, or you going and trying to mess with them, you going and entangling yourself, this person that I mentioned or some people that I know, some friends of mine, are the case in point of why you should never do this and step into this world. Because it'll tangle you up in such a way, it'll take years. It'll take a massive practice for you to undo that. Massive practice. Don't do this. Unless these things come to you, well, that's one thing. I don't really know why they would. They do, actually. I know this for a fact also. That one particular person said that he's been evolving in a certain area of life. Okay, well, I just say it. The exact example is Arash Zapardi Bazar. A while ago, he said that this being came to him non-physically, Zapar, and he said, I've been watching you for some time. Zapar is the demon of seduction. And through a medium, he said this to him, and yes, this demon has been watching him for some time, and he's curious about how they can kind of intertwine and intertwangle. So they're partners in this way, which that's one way of doing it. But again, this is a vibration. It's a lower vibration. It's a darker dimension. It's an unwholesome, unholy dimension. You're not going to feel happy. You're not going to thrive. You're not going to be bountiful and enjoy life and really let your light shine, because these things are pulling you down, because they're demented. They're demonic. There's also a place for that in the universe. That's just how it is, what it is. So yeah, that's it, my friends. Thank you so much for watching. Have a beautiful day.